Did you know that in the world, enough food is produced to feed everyone? The problem is that 40% of the food that is produced is wasted all along the food chain process, and then at home, with the food that we throw away, we are wasting 40% of what is produced. Therefore, in order to feed the world, we don't need to produce more. We need to waste less. When it comes to fruit and vegetables, we can use our excess fruit and veg to make conserves. Many different types of preserves and conserves and fermentations can be made with fruit and vegetable. When it comes to animal production, we should be aiming to consume them nose to tail. If animals are being bred and are being cared for and are giving their lives to feed us, it's only fair that we don't waste their sacrifice, but that we eat them nose to tail. And there are many different interesting dishes that are delicious that can be made with the different parts of the animals. In the developed world, we tend to choose the pieces of meat that are more popular, like steak, T-bone, different pieces that are famous, and they're actually quite expensive. However, there are other parts of the animal that are also equally tasty and can be prepared in ways that allow us to enjoy them in many different dishes.
Sí, poner tres. Vale. ¿Quién tiene
The secret is in the preparation.
alcaparra?
In this recipe, we're using a part of the front leg of the animal, which is not so popular, and so is very affordable in the shop. And we will be using it to make steak tartare. So actually, you don't need a steak to make steak tartare. This piece is much more affordable and less known. So our chef today is teaching us how to cut this piece. The secret is in the cutting.
Yo voy cortando esto. Vamos a ponerlo todo en un bol.
In order to enjoy tender meat, whether it's raw or cooked, we need to cut against the vein, against the grain of the fibers.
Muy bien.
If you cut along the fibers, it will be very chewy.
Vamos a hacer
Therefore, we want to cut against the fiber so that you break those fibers and make it much more tender. Other ways to break the fibers are by freezing the meat
3 minutos.
and also by maturing the meat for long periods of time.
La estáis haciendo muy bien, de verdad, estoy muy orgulloso.
But the best way is to cut it against the fiber, and that will assure the tenderness we want. Now the next step is how we cook it. If we overcook it, it will be chewy again.
Vale.
Timings for different meats are of the essence in order to get a lovely, tasty, tender piece of meat. In this case, we're going to enjoy this meat in all its glory, raw. Eating meat and animal products is actually very good for your health. Of course, not if you eat too much. So the secret to be healthy is to eat less meat, but of much better quality. And what is good quality in meat? It is meat that is grass-fed and that is grazed on the landscape, following a plan that imitates the cycles of nature. so that herbivores advance along the landscape, emptying fresh pastures every day, leaving behind their urine and their dung
Y hacéis esto.
and all the impact
Todas partís de aquí.
that a herd involves on the soil. And then by leaving a long recovering period for the land, all those nutrients and energy will filter into the soil.
Y si queréis, los
The microbiology there will do its work, and the prairie will come back full force,
el agua.
ready to be grazed again in the next season. The secret is
Creo que queda un poco.
many animals in a small space for a short space
Esto
of
que
time.
tiene, no puede ser tampoco mucho.
Then a long recovery period for that area that has been severely grazed.
Se pone un poco porque tampoco queremos que sea invasivo.
This is what we call planned grazing or holistic grazing
Y,
or rational grazing, high density grazing. There's many names for this.
y luego,
The idea is to imitate the cycle of nature and the large herds of herbivores that used to travel the landscape.
vale.
Eating eggs is also a great way to get excellent nutrition.
¿Vais aquí?
And here our chef is teaching us how to make a poached egg. Heat the water, swirl it around, and drop the egg in there.
Basira,
Watch the clock, because
aquí.
you only want it to be in the water for 3 minutes, and then bring it out, and that way it will have the perfect consistency. Nice and solid outside, beautifully liquid inside. Well, this is a great way to make any dish extra special. You can put a poached egg on top of pasta,
Cuidadosamente, lo tenemos aquí.
in a cream, in a soup, on top of any dish, really.
Ah,
There are so many different ways to enjoy each food,
poquitos años suerte bien.
and the
Y no
animals
vamos a ponernos en.
that are produced to feed us. So remember,
Venga,
don't waste food. Every piece can be used or conserved, and that way you will be improving your
voy a
footprint
hacer
on
un
the
corte de esto.
Para que veáis un poco cómo va, ¿vale? Vale. ¿Veis que son como láminas, no? Hemos cortado láminas, pues lo siguiente sería hacerle tiras. Así. Vamos a ponerlo aquí mejor. Y esas tiras luego las cortamos de esta manera. ¿Ok? Las ponemos aquí y lo juntamos todo. Vale. Si alguno se anima, ¿vale? Vamos por aquí. Mira, haz tiras. Sí, coge una tirita, exactamente. Muy bien. Mira, mírame a mí si quieres. Haces así la tira. Te pones, vete con el brazo, lo tienes muy bien colocado y luego, despacito, le das este cortecillo, ¿vale? ¿Te va bien ese cuchillo? Sí. ¿Sí? Vale. Gentiña, ¿alguno más? Cuando lo terminéis, le dais un relevo aquí a vuestras compañeras y vamos a seguir picando y acabamos los tartares, ¿vale? Y así cada uno va haciendo un poco. Vale, sí.